Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Gorecom in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives about their company, industry, and how things are going in general. With us today, I'm really happy to have again Harry Barham. He's Chairman, CEO, and Director of Pacific Northwest Capital. The company trades on the stock symbol PFN in Canada, in the U.S. for our friends there, PAWEF, and in Frankfurt under P7J. Now, for those of you who are new to the story, the company's 100% owned River Valley PGM Resource in Northern Ontario is one of the largest undeveloped primary PGM resources in Canada. Measured indicated resources contain about 2.5 million ounces of PGMs in gold. The resource is under evaluation for development potential as an open pit mining operation. Surrounded by excellent infrastructure, it's within 100 kilometers of Canada's largest nickel, copper, PGM mining and metal recovery center. Finally, the company also has a lithium division with multiple projects in both Nevada and Manitoba. Harry, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having us on again, George.
Fine. So we're talking today about River Valley. That's our focus. You've been actively drilling it. You're currently waiting for results. Any indications on how that set of drilling went?
Well, I can't really say exactly how it went, George, but it was in a new area, a new discovery that we made in 2015, so we're anticipating good results, but it's too early to tell. The assays aren't in yet.
Do you have an ETA for when you're expecting those assays to come in?
Yes, we're hoping to have everything out by the end of the first week of December, if all goes well. As I say, we were to do 4 holes. We were able to get a 5th hole in. So it's taking a little bit longer to get the results, but hopefully by between the 5th and the 10th of December, we'll have an announcement out.
But glad to know went smoothly. In fact, you got that extra hole in. That's fantastic. Harry, assuming results come in okay and up to expectations, what's going to be next for River Valley after you bring in the results?
Well, we have several different areas we're trying to drill in. Hopefully another round of drilling will be done before spring breakup, George. What we're trying to do in the northern portion of the property, we have about 600,000 ounces now, and we're trying to drill it up to about 1 million ounces. And then with that number in mind, we will then look at doing the work that needs to be done to try and get that to a production scenario. Again, as you mentioned before, an open pit scenario.
Now, there are a lot of new people who are watching this. Naturally, you have your current shareholders. You've had loyal shareholders for multiple number of years. But in layman's terms, try and put in perspective for everyone at home how significant your River Valley project is in terms of its size and its location, infrastructure, and what your excitement is for its prospects going forward and what it could mean.
Well, as you mentioned in the onset of this interview, it is the largest undeveloped deposit of its kind in Canada. Why that's significant is because there are very few PGM deposits in Canada. There's only one producer, and it's in Northern Ontario. The mine is Lac des Îles. The company's North American Palladium. It ships all its concentrates 800 kilometers down to Sudbury, to that metallurgical complex that you already talked about. We're only 100 kilometers out. So we're in a very good area. We're road accessible. We've got rail, road, power, and a metallurgical complex 100 kilometers away. So it's very significant in the sense that it's very well located right by an area where we could take the concentrates and get the metal out.
If everything went really well, if you had your druthers and everything went right, according to your plan, how far out could you be realistically from potentially starting an open pit mine? What would that timeline look like?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we'd be 3 to 5 years out if everything went well.
At that point, do you think, though, you'd be selling to a bigger company, or would you see it all the way through?
Well, as a small company, I mean, we're probably talking an overhead to get that thing to production of, in the $200 to $300 million range. So we would be looking to get a partner to help us get it all the way through and keep a significant portion of it.
In our last interview, you actually discussed the fact that you were talking to strategic partners. Has the movement, the PGM markets, as of late, made those strategic discussions advance even further?
Well, the last 5 years, as you know, have been very difficult, both for the majors and the juniors in this industry. And I think this is the first few months where the majors are going to look back, and I think their shareholders are happier, their prices are up. They have not done a lot of new exploration, so they will be looking for projects like ours. So we're hoping in the next 6 months to a year to find a partner who believes in what we're doing, believes in platinum group metals, the Sudbury district, and can help us move this project forward.
There's been some movement in the PGM markets. What do you attribute that to?
Well, there is a lot of demand, a lot of new cars being built. Of course, a lot of the platinum group metals are used in auto catalysts in cars, a green energy, green metal, and seems to be, I think most of the demand is for the cars that are being built today. Quite a few million in them extra over the last couple of years this year.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your lithium division. You've got fantastic projects you've acquired in Nevada. That's where you're expected to be if you're a top tier small cap company, and you are. But you've also got some great projects in Manitoba that nobody knew to go looking for but you. How are things going on the lithium side now that you've got these projects? What are next steps over there?
Well, we just started our lithium division in April this year, George. As you say, we now have 6 projects, 5 in Manitoba. Our goal this summer after acquiring the 5 was to get out on these sites and basically get a geological report put together for each one of them and to try and get at least 2 to 3 of them to the drill stage by the first quarter of 2017. That's coming along well. We put 2 announcements out here recently with some good surface results. The reports are being built, and I think we're on schedule to have at least 2 or 3 of our 5 Manitoba properties at the drill stage by the end of the first quarter of next year.
How do there are a lot of companies who are trying to play the Me Too, we're a lithium company too, and you see press releases just trying to ride that wave. How does the combination of both these fantastic lithium projects and then River Valley almost as the foundation underneath that differentiate you from most other companies out there?
Well, I think River Valley is what makes us different, but we'll start with the lithium projects. We have one of the best guys, I think, in Canada who heads up our lithium division, Kerry Gilschuk, and he knows what he's doing. We've focused on an area in Canada that has a lot of rare earths and lithium and tantalum, and we're focusing on those 5 properties. But what makes us different compared to all the other ones is that we do have the River Valley project. It's the only one of its kind in Canada. It's the largest undeveloped project, and we have 2 kicks at the can basically, and it is a real core asset.
Yeah, I have to tell you as an investor, in any company, it gives me much more comfort, greater comfort when a company's got 2 real strong avenues of progress as opposed to all their eggs in one basket. I mean, that's business 101. So I got to tell everyone at home, I love that about PFN. So last question. We're coming to the end of 2016. I'm sure your shareholders and your potential shareholders want to know what's your outlook for 2017 in terms of the company itself, obviously, and the surrounding industry. Are you going to get help from the surrounding industry? Do you see things being a lot better? What do you foresee, Harry?
Well, 2016, I think, was our first year that the juniors saw a little bit of relief in the ability to raise funds. As you know, George, we've had 5 rotten years in the industry. The major companies, I think, are starting to look now at projects like our River Valley and may look at investments. They weren't doing a lot of that kind of work in the last couple of years either. The prices of platinum and palladium are slowly coming up. Palladium was as low as $640, $650s. I looked this morning, it was over $700. So you get a lot of demand, a lot of new cars are being made, so the auto catalysts are needed. We've had some good results over the summer months for River Valley. We've acquired an extra 4 kilometers, which we call the River Valley Extension, so there'll be more work done on it. Drill results coming out this fall, another drill program slated for the winter. And our goal there is, again, to take the northern portion of our reserves from 600,000 ounces to about 1 million and try to get an open pit scenario going there. And with the 5 projects we have in Manitoba, our plan is to get at least 2 or 3 of them to the drill stage, and I think you'll see that coming up. We've had some really good news coming out of those projects this summer.
Harry, on behalf of everyone at home, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us. You're on the road, obviously. We know you're on the road doing business, and you took the time to chime in on Skype here, so we appreciate that. I want to tell everyone at home, this is probably the last interview we're going to have with Harry under PFN Capital. Look for the company's new name, New Age Metals, going to be coming out here before the end of 2017. But Harry, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, George.
You've been watching Harry Barr. He's Chairman, CEO, and Director of Pacific Northwest Capital. The company trades on the stock symbols PFN in Canada, PAWEF in the USA, and P7J on Frankfurt. You can find more information about the company at pfncapital.com. But get yourself over to Agoracom, punch in the company's name or stock symbol, take a look at all the great interviews we've done with Harry over the past year, and see how this company's been living up to its word and progressing. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon.